Welcome, Divine Intuitive Souls. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Today we have a pick a card reading and you have 3 groups to choose from. Before I let you get familiar with the groups, I want to share a disclaimer. Make sure everyone here is aware that this is for entertainment purposes only. In no way am I diagnosing, assessing, or treating anything relating to mental health or medical advice. And I also want to clarify, I am a certified Reiki master, as well as an energy worker, a psychic, a medium, and a tarot and oracle card reader. And so those are the skills I'm going to be using today to be able to provide this reading. And with that reading, I will use the tarot, the oracle, as well as the energy that is currently present and my intuition to receive and deliver the messages that are available for you today. So starting off with group 1, we have the Prophecy Stone. In group 2, we have the Tektite. In group 3, we have the clear quartz that has black tourmaline in it. It's really beautiful. All these groups are so beautiful, okay? You can't go wrong. And you all have very powerful stones in front of you. So use your intuition to select a group. Only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But keep in mind, because sometimes in the future, it might resonate later on. But there's no right or wrong. And if you're having a hard time, feel free to use a number generator, which I have found to be very helpful when I'm also trying to select groups for myself. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys get familiar. I also want you guys to know that I have cleansed this space and I only seek the energy for the highest good, the most divine, with love and light. So at this time, hopefully you've chosen your reading, and we're going to jump right into group 1. Hello, group 1. Thank you so much for choosing the Prophecy Stone. This is one of my favorites. I mean, I feel like all crystals are my favorite, but this is such a powerful stone. For those of you who aren't aware of a Prophecy Stone or what it is from Egypt, I believe, and it is just known for its name, prophecy. It can really help you manifest. And right away we have a couple cards that jumped out. So we have the Hanged Man in reverse, and we have the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, so it sounds like maybe you were in a state where you felt stuck. You felt like there wasn't any movement happening for you. And with the Hanged Man in reversed, or Hanged Woman in this deck, it means that you are moving out of that. You're no longer going to be stagnant. So that's wonderful news. What else do we have? Oops. Okay. So it sounds like maybe there's a lot going on. Okay. So with the 6 of Pentacles, there's an energy of something coming into motion from the Hanged Woman. And whatever's coming to motion is going to create this self-care. It's relating to self-care, it seems like. And it's going to create balance and harmony. Starting out with the Hanged Woman, which is the first card, but also is a major arcana. And it was the only major arcana that we got for this deck. So that's really telling me that this is really important. And we have it in reverse. And so what that's telling me is that you've been going through a period where you have been really feeling stuck. You have felt stagnant, like you have not been able to make progress. And potentially even feeling trapped. And with the Hanged Woman in reverse, that tells me that there might also have been avoidance with whatever your situation is. And to also know that because it's in reverse, we're moving out of that. We're no longer feeling stuck, because right after we have the Six of Pentacles, right? And the Six of Pentacles is telling me that you're moving out of the Hanged Woman, this avoidance, this stagnation, and you're doing that through self-care. And it's really important that you prioritize self-care, because self-care is tied to the balance that we have, whether it's in our professional or personal lives. It's so important to have this balance, because that's going to create this flow of energy. That's going to create a flow where things are in alignment, and you'll be able to move out of whatever has been keeping you stuck. And I also want to say, I really feel like there's a lot of self-sabotaging, and that's what's related to what's kept you stuck, is feeling inadequate. There's a lot of doubt, just questioning yourself, your decisions, your situation, whatever that may be, whatever that's related to, whether relationships, whether career, whether family, anything. There's a lot of self-sabotaging, I feel. And with the Six of Pentacles right after, that's really telling me that you are going to prioritize self-care, or you're thinking of self-care, but this is something that's really going to be important for you. And the reason for that is because right after, with the Four of Wands in reverse, that tells me there's been so much uncertainty. And if you think all of these cards are really similar in the color, the background, all that, right? And this is telling me that there's a lot going on with maybe self-expression, because this blue is representative of the throat chakra. And with the throat chakra, that has to do with our communication. How are we communicating? It can also be like the narrative, the story that we tell ourselves, that can feed into self-sabotaging behaviors. And so with that, I'm going to put it back in order, so it's not so confusing. But with that, it's telling me that you need to stop self-sabotaging. And some of you might feel really resistant to that message, because some of you might feel like, what are you talking about? I don't self-sabotage. That's not even relating to my situation or question. But hear me out. Self-sabotaging honestly just starts with the narrative you tell yourself, the story you tell yourself, right? And here we have throat chakra, I feel, really coming out in this imagery for these cards. And the cards specifically that are, that have a heavier message, and I don't want to say negative or positive, but it has a heavier message here. So it's really funny, because I feel like it's really valid. And the story we tell ourselves is, for example, if you spill water, okay, what's the story you're going to tell yourself? Are you going to say, oh my gosh, I'm so annoyed, why did this happen? Or are you going to say, okay, well, I just have to clean it up, and I'm so glad that the glass didn't break, as an example, right? I have a water right here. So one is self-sabotaging and the other one isn't. The first one is self-sabotaging, right? There's this sense of responsibility and even shame that's in the statement. Why does this always happen to me? I'm so annoyed, right? And I also want to make sure it's clear that it's really important for you to live your truth. So if you're annoyed, if you're frustrated, if you're XYZ, that is valid. I'm not here to try to teach perfection, or that we need to repress our emotions. And from this deck, it's telling me you already do enough of that. You already repress your own emotions. And so it's really important in order to move out of this, the beautiful, stunning imagery of these orange, red, and pink, yellow colors that are sticking out of this that also have this blue, really funny, right? And I know it's the same deck. Sorry, I thought you guys could see that. So what this is really telling me is self-care. Self-care. Pay attention to the narrative you tell yourself. What is the story you tell yourself? How do you communicate to yourself? How do you communicate with others? Is there a difference? Okay, because right after with the heartbreak, right, it doesn't have to relate to a relationship. It can just relate to self-sabotaging. I'm hurting myself. And you hurt yourself by the story that you tell yourself. Feeling like you're inadequate, doubting yourself, second guessing. That's keeping you stuck, stagnant, right? And in order to move forward, self-care needs to be implemented. Self-care is going to help you with your alignment. It's going to help with flow. It's going to help you prosper. And then the last card, Knight of Wands. That's really telling me there's ambition happening here. It requires risk-taking. Okay, it requires passion. The Wands is all about taking action. It's so funny that in the imagery, we literally have him looking at all of these cards. And I'm really big on energy, and the decks that I use, I make sure that really call to me intuitively, and the imagery really speaks to me. So literally the Knight of Wands is here, like looking, reflecting, looking back on everything. And if I implement self-care, how am I going to look at it? Am I going to look at it with a story of self-sabotage? Like, oh my gosh, why did I put myself in this position? What's wrong with me? Why does this always happen? I always get the same result. XYZ, right? Whatever the story is. Or are you going to look back and say, you know what? Because I'm implementing self-care, I'm so grateful for everything this has taught me. I'm so grateful for the growth, for the progress I've made by implementing self-care. I'm no longer self-sabotaging. And a lot of this self-sabotaging too is telling me that there might be issues with maybe commitment. Like I said, also just a block in your self-expression, feeling like you have to restrict yourself, and you're fixated on it too. Like you're fixated on whatever the situation is for you. And so it's going to be really important for you to practice self-care, to try to notice when you're self-sabotaging. And again, a really quick, easy way, well, it's not easy, but a quick way is to jump into what story you're telling yourself when anything happens, good or bad. Okay. And then I also pulled 2 more cards to help with any other messages from 2 different other decks. And it's so beautiful because we have Oya, who is the goddess of expression. She's so beautiful. And I want to sit with this for a moment too, because, oh my gosh, sorry. I keep thinking you guys can see it. I'm going to put it over these 2. So in Oya with expression, right? Oh my God. Hold on. So if we even put her right there, again, looking back, reflecting, you need to reflect. You need to reflect and surrender. Don't resist. Try to truly consider, especially if you're here watching my page, consider what is happening. You're here for a reason. You didn't click on this group for no reason. You need to start reflecting, okay? Reflect on what is happening, what has happened, what has the story been, and how has that story potentially kept me stuck? Because I want to move forward, and this is how. Okay, expression. And then the last card I pulled for you is decluttering. So this is a really beautiful card. And I know, right, like the imagery too, it's like, oh, like actually decluttering, like cleaning up. Absolutely, that's one part of the message. But this can also apply to mentally decluttering. Mentally decluttering all those thoughts and narratives that are part of self-sabotaging. We got to clear that out, okay? Because that's part of what's kept us stuck, disorganized, feeling the doubt, feeling fixated. And this can also tell me that you feel like there's so much going on that it's like, I don't even know where to start. Because that's a big part of why people may procrastinate on decluttering. I don't even know where to start. So the message I'm hearing is just start with the narrative. Just start building awareness to what is the story I'm telling myself when XYZ happens. That's it. Let's start there. Because that's going to help reflect on that narrative and understanding by identifying whether or not it's self-sabotaging. Okay? And I really want to pull a few more cards for you. So I'm going to pull one more card to see what else can help guide you. What can help guide group number 1 so that they are able to help in this process of self-care and heal and prevent self-sabotaging. Okay. Ooh, okay. We have protection. Call back your power. Cut the cords. Soul retrieval. Oh my gosh. This is such a beautiful card. Wow. And in this imagery, there's like maybe a solar eclipse happening. Lunar eclipse. So what this imagery is also showing me is there are so many blockages. And these blockages have different versions, different rules. And so it's really important, because you're self-sabotaging, that you do not criticize yourself. Protect yourself. And the way you can protect yourself is by practicing gratitude. And I know that sounds so easy or simple, but it's really not. Gratitude is not a checklist of what you're grateful for. Okay? Gratitude is an emotion that you can embody. And it's a very powerful emotion. Gratitude releases dopamine and serotonin. Okay, and that helps feed that reward system in our brain that loves to make associations with things. Making associations helps us make sense of things. And that association or new associations that happen help our brains reprogram, because they help us feel good. And our brains are naturally innate to pull towards that energy. We want to feel good. We want to feel secure. We want to feel confident. We want to feel adequate. We want to feel like we can do it. So you need to protect yourself, protect your emotions. Don't criticize them, notice them. Protect your emotions. And this is also telling me with self-sabotaging, maybe you dissociate. Maybe you kind of run away, escape, or numb. And that's a way you cope. But it also keeps you stuck. So to move forward from that, don't criticize your emotions, because that's going to create further blockages and barriers. But try to just understand by observing. What is this emotion telling me? What is this frustration telling me when I spill my water, or the annoyance? It's telling me that, oh, I felt like it was an inconvenience, and now it feels like I have to do additional work to take care of, and it's interfering with my time or schedule. Okay, that is a reframe as well. And that observation helps us make sense of why we self-sabotage. Because it's serving a purpose, but this purpose is no longer serving you. Okay? And one more thing I have is, what crystal would you need at this time to assist you? And that is so funny because this is throat chakra, and it's turquoise, communication. And your affirmation is, I freely express my deepest truths. Okay? So you have this lying around, jewelry pieces or crystals. This is going to be really important for you to have during this period. Okay? Make sure that you know this is a journey, an endless journey. And self-sabotaging is a way that we can reflect on the shadow work necessary for us too. So on one hand, I can already hear you criticizing yourself like, oh my gosh, I'm XYZ. And I don't even want to get into that because I don't want to even pick up on that energy, but I want to pause you right there and let you know what, you are so deserving. And it's so amazing that when you can reflect on this, and observe it without that criticism, you can change your narrative to, wow, it's so amazing how much I'm learning about myself, how much my mind, body, and soul has done to protect me, to love me, to help me survive. And through self-care, this is my time to thrive. Okay? So I hope that resonates. And I appreciate you joining me, so thank you so much. This is the end of your reading group 1. Welcome group 2. Thank you for joining me. This is the crystal from the group that you selected. So let's get started and see what messages are here for you today. So starting out, oh my gosh, we have the sun. Okay, sorry, I should probably do a close-up. Okay, we have the sun. I really like, this is one of my favorites. Wow. Wow, we have a major arcana for our first reading. Oh my goodness. And then the second one is the Tower. Whoa. Whoa. This is a lot. Okay, this is a big message for you. Okay. So let's get a clarifier for the 10 of Swords, because I know that can be a little heavy. Wow. This is kind of reminding me of group 1. Okay. So let's pause here. Okay. So with the sun being the first card, the theme, right? We have something coming to light. We have transformation. We have manifestation. And it's whatever it is, it's going to help you move forward. And right next to it, we have the confirmation with the Tower card, another major arcana, which is also representative of a new beginning, a new foundation. And a lot of people don't like the Tower. I think it's such a great card because it is part of transformation. The Tower is telling me we need to transform. And in order to transform, it means we got to knock down the foundation that whatever the situation was built on. And the reason we have to knock it over is because this foundation was not solid. It was not stable. And this is giving you an opportunity to maybe make it like earthquake proof. Okay? So transformation is really big here. And whatever your situation is pertaining to in this reading, this is a sign that it's going to shake you in a good way. But, you know, we also have some warnings here, okay? But this is good. This is a great, strong start out because you're having the opportunity to start fresh, okay? And we also have 2 lightning bolts. So it could be 2 different things that this is relating to, or 2 different events that are going to create this new foundation or decisions. So something like that. And then we have the 10 of Swords. In our clarifier, the 2 of Swords, so sword energy. So this is relating to action that's happening, okay? And so with the action, what I'm feeling is the 10 of Swords is really big on self-sabotaging. And that's really familiar to group 1. So it's really interesting to kind of get this. So what I see here in the 10 of Swords is feeling like there's been a lot of rejection. Feeling like you've been defeated, okay? And it's really prevented you from having high hopes. And I see that it's almost like you've lost vision, right? Also the sword going through the eyes, piercing the eyes, which is telling me like I've lost sight of what I'm even doing, where I'm even going. And that's part of self-sabotaging that also feeds into feeling stuck. And this clarifier of the 2 of Swords is telling me there's a decision you have to make here. There are 2 paths that you can choose from. And this action requires doing something different, moving forward, okay? And in that decision, it's going to clear your path. It's going to help expand your ability, your skills, your talents, the tools that you have. It is going to grow. But we need to practice gentleness as well. Because there's a lot of sword energy. Because even in this card, where we have the 7 of Swords. Oh, is this 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, my bad. So a lot of the self-sabotaging could be related to just a lot of things being self-centered, of self-interest. Okay, and it's almost like there's a lot of denial happening here. A lot. And the fox is known to also be symbolic of secrecy, of hiding, of deception. And it's like, you can see it's hiding a sword. It's trying to cover up something, right? There's only one eye sticking out. For those of you who would like to see, there you go. Okay. So this is part of your self-sabotaging. And, you know, that clarifier of you need to make a decision. Do you want to continue to live in denial with this lost sense of hope that you're like guarding? It's almost like you want to protect that lack of focus, that lack of hope. You want to protect more. Because in doing that, you know, the other swords are bound to fall. They're going to hit too. They're just waiting. So it's really important you make a decision to help move out of this, to help with this transformation, bringing to light something new, a new beginning, okay? And then we have another major arcana, which is the Hierophant, which is so amazing because then we have another lightning, right, which is right behind it. And it looks like that's a raven, maybe maybe a crow. And so again, another lightning, which could be indicative of like, you're going to have moments that are going to happen in a flash. And it could be your intuition. It could be a raven that comes up, or a crow that's going to help with this realization. And we have this raven or crow. I'm going to say crow. I think it's a crow because it looks a little bit smaller. This crow is literally looking back. It's looking back on everything. And this is a sign of reflection. I need to reflect. And it's looking back on all the cards, which is it's just interesting that this is the last card for the deck. And it's just showing how important it is to reflect on all of this and how it's all playing a role here. Okay. And you have the key. Okay. You know what it's going to take to move forward, to move out of this. And the key is pointing in the direction of outward, moving out of this. Okay. And it's funny too, because this crow has its mouth open. It's almost like it's saying something. It has a message for you. But are you willing to hear it? Or are you going to sit in denial and self-sabotage? Okay. And I know that's really hard to hear. Okay, but the Hierophant, as we know too, right, is all about seeking knowledge. It's about mentorship. It's about teaching. It's about lessons. It's about learning something. And so this is great to have for our last card of this deck, because it's also telling me that we really got to work on this fear that's feeding into denial and self-sabotaging. And just your curiosity alone is going to play a key role in being able to transform. And so it's also a message that if there's something on your mind of wanting to do something different, like a class, like a course, like an online event or in-person event, a career switch, a move, it's saying, why don't we explore that? That's the message. But let's reflect, because that reflection is going to help us know what we need to bring to light. Okay. So I'm also going to pull another card to help with empowerment and what you need to hear. It's also help, because I know this sounds heavy. But, you know, I'm not here to sugarcoat. I am here to deliver what the message for your highest good. And sometimes the highest good, in order to get there, we got to do the shadow work first. Okay. And maybe this is a lot of shadow work that we need to stop avoiding, stop denying. Okay. So, oops. Okay. Looks like this is the card. Whoa. Oh my gosh. There is not a better card for you. You're going to have endless serendipity if you take the time to reflect, allow your curiosity to guide you, stop self-sabotaging, and focus on this. This is where you want to be. Oh my gosh. And it's like almost almost identical. The fireworks, you know, like, wow, it's just coming back to this. This is where you want to be. Okay, this new beginning. And it's like, we don't want to do the work. There's resistance in doing the work, in facing your shadow self. But that's what you got to do, because this is going to be the result. This is the result. Endless serendipity. Why would you not want that? Why would none of us want that, right? Success. You're going to have success. There's going to be celebration. You're going to make it. Okay? Lean into wherever this curiosity is taking you, that you want to explore, this new adventure, this new beginning, this new class, this new job position, this new location, whatever it is, explore it. Because it sounds like that's going to play a huge role. And then the last card I'm going to pull for you is going to be whatever crystal you could benefit from in this situation. that can help you with the alignment necessary. We pulled a heart chakra. Wow. This is so beautiful. Look at this message. I deeply relax with every breath. Wow. I'm giving you guys a moment to kind of sit with this. That's really necessary here. You guys need to like give yourself grace, give yourself peace. Wow. The rescue crystal. Rescue yourself. How can I save myself from this self-sabotaging? That's what's necessary here. Wow. So this is the reading and message I got for you today, Group 2. Thank you. See you again in the next video. Hello, Group 3. Thank you for choosing this group and being here with me. This is the crystal you chose. So beautiful. We're going to put it right there and we're going to just jump in. See what are the messages you need to hear. Okay. So starting off, whoa, we have love is in the air. Look at how pretty. Love is in the air. And then we also have, wow, prioritizing reflection. Oops, fell. Okay, we're gonna pull one more card from this deck. And it's, wow, becoming nobody. Okay, so, wow, very, very powerful. Okay, so starting out with love is in the air, the message I'm getting from this is there is so much abundance, so much prosperity happening. This could be romance in a relationship, or it can even be self-love you're rewarding yourself with. So either way, it's a beautiful message and it's confirmation. Keep it up. You're doing the work. And this work is paying off. Okay. And so something else that I'm getting from this is right with this prioritize reflection is part of what's helping you right now in being able to successfully have this shift or improvement in a romance situation or in self-love is that you're reflecting, you're holding yourself accountable. You're looking at yourself and trying to figure out, how is this impacting me? How might I be contributing to XYZ? And what do I need to be able to still provide the self-love or this improvement in romance? Okay. We also have becoming nobody. And so in becoming nobody, this is also telling me, and I feel like this is mostly related to self-care. I feel like there's going to be some where this is about romance. But I feel like for the most part, it's self-care. But regardless, this can tie into the situation. Okay. And becoming nobody is important here because what becoming nobody is telling us is that we're no longer people pleasing. That's big here, and that's part of holding yourself accountable. We're not people pleasing. Okay? And not people pleasing is helping us put a pause to prioritize ourselves, to prioritize maybe our love, our partner. Okay, and that has been really important in this transformation and this shift. Okay, and in becoming nobody, it's essentially just having a blank canvas. I'm starting something new, a new beginning, a new chapter, and I'm trying to look at myself with new eyes of love. And I just had another card that just jumped out when I was shuffling, and it fell. And we have the Justice card. Okay. which is about the balance. You're creating that balance for yourself, which is really great. That's, wow. That's helping you have clarity. The clarity to know that right now is a moment to really just pause and love myself. And in loving myself, maybe that's also just helping your romance. It's also just helping your relationship. So it can all apply here. Oh my gosh. The Two of Cups. Okay, yes. So absolutely just more validation for the fact that in the self-love or relationship, either way, it's a win-win. And it's still important to have that self-reflection, that self-care, that self-love, the accountability, boundary setting, all the things that help with balance to be able to create this opportunity to have self-love. It's about filling your cup. And in filling your cup, you can fill others. Right? And wow, it's just prosperous. Like this is really great. Okay. And we have the Mother of Swords. I'm gonna put this here. The Mother of Swords, which is also telling me like you're learning how to be patient with yourself. You're really pausing. I don't see you really taking action with anything. Not that that's a bad thing. I just see this more as a time for reflection, really a time for reflection, a time to build that introspection, that awareness. And this is more like internal, this is more like mental, that's happening here. And in the Mother of Swords with this reflection, we're just like focused. We're looking straight ahead, right? And even the same thing with Justice. Like their bodies are behind them. Ooh, this is kind of similar too. Yeah, because you don't even see, I don't even think you see their feet. Okay, I don't know. But it's possible that both of their bodies are actually turned back and yet they're looking back. But in looking back, they're actually looking forward. So this is also maybe validating the priority of reflection. And in reflection, can you sit in the stillness? Are you holding yourself accountable? Because that's going to help you with that knowledge and wisdom. And that knowledge and wisdom is creating a balance, right? So they're all playing hand in hand here. Wow. And I'm sorry, I know my cards can be kind of messy, but like I try to be really big on not being a perfectionist. Okay, I'm not here to teach perfection. I'm here to just be myself and give you the energy that's present here for your highest good. Okay. So, wow, this is wonderful. This is such a beautiful message. I'm going to pull another card from a deck to see what else you need to hear that is going to be really important for you. Okay. So I had 2 cards fly out of the deck. So you're not getting 1, you're getting 2. Okay. You're getting 2. So what we have here, okay, I'm going to put this original deck here, is Mirror. Wow, yeah, reflecting. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And they're using like a similar color palette too. Oh gosh, I love that. Okay. Wow, that's wonderful, guys. What or who is triggering you? And you're doing it. Good job. Keep it up. You're being rewarded. Because in doing that, you're birthing a new age, new creations, dreaming a new world into being, success. Wow. Oh my gosh. This is like harmony, balance, alignment, wishes coming true. Wow. And you're moving forward. You're moving into it. Wow, and you're doing that through this reflection because they're also turned away, which tells me they're looking, you know, their attention is somewhere else. It's not in here in the present because they would be facing us, and that's okay, but this reflection is so important. Wow. Wow, okay. This is such a beautiful group. Wow. You guys have been practicing. This requires a lot of discipline to reflect. And so the discipline you guys are applying here, wow, it's going to be rewarded tenfold with this message. Okay, so we have the crown chakra. Wow, look at that. Psychic and healing. I am purified. Wow. I am purified. Wow, it's super important to focus on your crown chakra. That's where you're getting your downloads to help you with this reflection. Wow. That is wonderful. I'm super proud of all the work that you're doing. And I hope that this message is confirmation that you're heading in the right direction and you're prioritizing your needs or setting boundaries. And this is a difficult thing to do, but wow, it's like you've been doing, there's like practice you have with this. And so it's just paying off now. You can now sit back and just reflect. You don't need to take action right now. Just reflect. Focus on reflecting. All right. So this was the message I got for you, group 3. Thank you so much again for joining me, and I hope I can see you in an upcoming video. Thanks.